Hey, what's up guys, it's Nexum talking to you here, and today I want to talk about the iPhone 14. Yes, because I've done a ton of videos on the Mac already, and I decided that now we have some more news on the iPhone 14 and some new information like leaked photos and real photos of the actual iPhone 14 screens. Then I decided to make this video to compile all the leaks and explain again to you guys what are we expecting for the iPhone 14, what should we be more excited for, and what should we take with a grain of salt, because not all leaks will end up correct. I do think there's a lot of leaks that are circulating around that won't be correct, but let's see what happens. We have like the new exclusive colors, the pricing, we have the images, we have the camera sizes, the resolution, we have the screens, we have everything, almost everything for the iPhone 14, and so I'm very excited to compile all of the information in just one video for you guys so that you can decide if it's worth it to wait for the iPhone 14 or to buy the iPhone 13 Pro Max or even the 13 Pro, 13 or 13 mini. One thing that I will talk about right at the beginning of this video without even going to the intro is the fact that we are expecting for the mini phone to die this year. Yes, we are expecting the iPhone 14 mini not to exist and to be replaced with the iPhone 14 Max, a 6.7 inch more affordable iPhone. So if you are only interested on the iPhone mini, then your best choice is just to go for the iPhone 13 mini and try to see if you can get a discount when the iPhone 14s come out, or even buy one now and hold on to it as much as you can. But if you are the type of guy that likes the biggest screen possible, then this video is for you. I will talk about all of the leaks for the iPhone 14 and more especially the iPhone 14 Max also, where you will learn about this new 6.7 inch, big, affordable, with gasps iPhone. So if you are excited for that, do not forget to drop a like down below and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate your support. So no further ado, roll the intro. As you know, the iPhone 14 lineup is going to be composed by 4 iPhones. If I grab here my iPad and then I go into my notes, then you can see that we have 4 iPhones. We have a 6.7 inch iPhone 14 Max, which is the new addition to the iPhone lineup. We have the iPhone 14, we have the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. As you can see in these photos, the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Pro will be the same size. It will be 6.1 inches, they will have the same size. But now we'll be having 2 same sizes again. No 2 extremes, but 2 6.7 inch iPhones. A 6.7 inch more affordable iPhone 14 Max and a 6.7 inch less affordable iPhone 14 Pro Max. Yes, the differences between the Pro lineup and the normal lineup this year will be having to be more distinguishable for the normal consumer. Like Apple will have to make the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max more affirmative in their Pro names just by adding more features, Pro features, so the normal consumer doesn't get confused. What is the difference between the iPhone 14 Pro and the normal 14, and ends up spending less money going for the iPhone 14. So if they are looking for the Pro, they feel like the Pro is a good deal. So yes, what is Apple doing to bring the Pro in a bigger level and put the expectations lesser on the normal models? Well, first they are going to price the Pro and the normal models quite differently. The iPhone 14 will be priced at $799, the same price as the iPhone 13, and we are expecting this to be correct. Also, the iPhone 14 Max, not the Pro model, will be priced at $929, $949, at least $100 more than the $799 iPhone 14. So we are expecting quite a bigger jump, and so to start at least at $900, which will be quite expensive. So remember again, the iPhone 14 will start at $799 and the iPhone 14 Max will start at $899 minimum. We can see that at $929 and the other one at $829, just because of inflation. Costs to produce the iPhones has gone up, and of course with these shutdowns on the factories recently on China, we'll be probably seeing increased prices on the newest iPhones. But the biggest difference we'll be seeing on the pricing will be on the Pro models. More recent reports are saying that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max could be costing $100 more each. So the iPhone 14 Pro would start at $1099, the old iPhone 13 Pro Max starting price, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max could start at a staggering $1199, the same price as the S22 Ultra and upcoming S23s and the other Android flagships. So yes, the iPhones might be getting a bit more expensive, especially the Pro models. So I do think that's quite a lot. I do think that that's normal because Apple needs to match up inflation. Inflation is going very high now, at least at 10%. So it makes sense that Apple wants at least to match up. Because if you think about it, the price of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, let's say, the $1199 phone, it's the same price as the iPhone 10 was in 2018, if you consider inflation. So Apple is not, by they're not raising the prices, they are losing money. They are not like making more money, they are trying to make the same amount of money they were doing in the past. So it's normal for Apple to increase the price of these two models just because manufacturing has got more expensive and of course inflation. These are two biggest points, and you are noticing that on your day-to-day life, like your shopping has become way more expensive, your gas has become way more expensive. So it's normal that these things like iPads, Macs, iPhones, they will get more expensive. That's normal. Apple needs to bring the prices to the inflation current price. So it's normal to do this, and so I'm warning you, I do think the iPhone 14 lineup will get a price increase, at least at the Pro models. If Apple doesn't want to increase the normal 14 and 14 Max, they will have to cut on some expenses to do so. And to tell you about it, let's just start with the main one, because this will be staggered with a lot of controversy when the iPhone 14s come. The first one will be the processor. Yes, while we are talking about the processor, normally each year we get the A15, A16, A17, normally we get the new processor each year. But Min-Chi Kuo and other leakers are saying now that Apple will put the more powerful A15, the one found on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, on the iPhone 13 Pro, they will put it on the iPhone 14 and 14 Max. The only phones that will be getting a new chip, the A16, will be the Pro models. So you can start to see where Apple will cut measures so they can keep up the same price as last year, at least on the base model. That will be the chip. Apple will be keeping the same old A15 chip, not the A16, which the price has increased from manufacturing from TSMC. So it's normal that Apple, if they want to keep their prices lower, they use the one-year-old A15 chip, which is plenty enough. And if you want my opinion on it, I don't think it's a problem, just because the A15 is so much more powerful than the Android competition that you still have like a chip that is 2 years ahead of the Android flagships. So this chip will last for several years, and I do see Apple like giving it 10, 8, 9 years of software support. So I would not worry about having it, and you won't notice on the day-to-day basis. Like, it's just more a marketing term than anything, but Apple will save tons and tons of money. So this is the first thing that you should look out for the iPhone 14 lineup. It's the chip. The iPhone 14 and 14 Max will be keeping the A15 chip, but the more powerful version with more RAM, with 6 GB of RAM, found on the iPhone 13 Pro Max and 13 Pro. And of course, the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will be having the new and more powerful, efficient, and of course the newest and shiniest A16 chip. Then let's talk about the displays, shall we? Because this is going to be an area where Apple is going to innovate even more on the iPhone 14 lineup. It's going to be one of the biggest changes on the iPhone 14 lineup, but again, only on the Pros. This is a current factor on this iPhone 14 lineup, is the fact that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will receive tons of new changes, at least like visual changes and hardware changes too. And the iPhone 14 will be receiving small and minor changes, but they will be keeping the price down. I do think Apple wants to create a bigger gap between these two lineups. And so, again, with the displays, they are going to create two types of notches this year. Yes, the first notch will be the regular iPhone 13 and 13 Pro Max notch, like the one you have right now. This is going to be the notch present on the iPhone 14 and 14 Max. This notch will be quite the same. I don't really mind it. I use it every single day. I like it. I don't notice it, but just like the older notch, I don't really care. But Apple is going to change something. They are going to change the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max notches. So hear me out. The iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max notches will be completely eliminated, like they're going to be gone. But wait a second, if Apple is going to kill the notch, what are they going to put the cameras, like where? Under the display? Under the border? Where? Well, Apple is going to have an eye hole design. Yes, an eye hole. Literally an eye in a hole. Like, the display is going to be weird. If you can see the images on the screen right now, this is going to be the new notch for Apple. And it's going to be the new standard for next years to follow. So this notch is quite incredible. I do think that it's more intrusive in your content in some ways, but it's more elusive to a better screen to body ratio. So it's kind of weird. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I'm going to use it. and I will tell you after it. But from looking at the screen now, I can tell you that this is quite weird. I do think that Apple could have joined them together and make like not a high hole, but a complete hole on the screen on the notch, maybe. But again, this is an intrusion by itself, and I do think that Apple wants to give it a high hole just because it's an iconic feature of the iPhone where you look at it and you know already it's an iPhone. Very different from the punch hole displays on Android phones that make it look like every other Android phone. So yes, I do think that Apple is going to make an historical design with this I/O thing that is going to last at least until Apple can remove completely the Face ID and camera under the display. So yes, this is going to be the new display for the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. And again, accentuating the fact that the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 lineup will be different. They will have a bigger gap between themselves. The iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will be more expensive. They will get even more and good features. The new A16 chip, the new display, and of course, the new cameras. Yes, because we are expected to come with new and improved sensors. Finally, Apple is going to improve the sensor on the iPhone 14s, but like I told you, not on the iPhone 14 and 14 Max, but on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. Again, the Pro name will be even more justifiable now with a new 48 megapixel sensor on the Pro models. Yes, this sensor is just huge. If you look at the image on the screen right now that I've put for yourselves, you can see the difference between on the cameras. It's just ridiculous. The camera bump is even bigger now, and the difference between the lens of the Pro models and the normal models, it's even bigger. So I'm expecting this to be just an insane camera, like even better with low light capabilities because it will capture even more light, and it will have even more high-res photo capabilities. But the one thing that Apple will probably focus this year will be 8K video. Let's see if Apple can bring the 8K at least at 30 frames per second, or if they could at 8K at 60. That would be just incredible, and I would like Apple to do it so much. 8K will bring the resolution of your iPhone video even further. But one thing you have to look out is the fact that 8K takes a lot of storage, and iPhones right now have been having limitations filming ProRes because it takes a lot of storage. So Apple needs to make a way of bringing the iPhone storage upwards. So I do think that Apple is going to put 256 gigabytes by default on the Pro models, starting at $100 more, but costing the same for the consumer. You know what I mean? Like, they will give you 256 at that price, so they will eliminate the base model right now, the $999 or $1099 iPhone 13 Pro Max with 128. Right now, if you want to get the iPhone 13 Pro Max with 256, you have to pay $1,200. So I do think that Apple will start with that configuration, not with the base model right now. So it will be the same for you, that people that buy the higher configuration iPhones, but for you that like buying the base model, you won't have that option available. So yes, this camera will be insane. They will probably make some tweaks and adjustments to the ultra-wide and telephoto cameras. Right now, we haven't heard that much. I would not expect a super zoom camera on the iPhone 14s. That's more reserved for the iPhone 15s, according to Min Chi Kuo, with the telezoom 100x zoom on the iPhone. So yes, if you are expecting for 8K mainly, it will come out on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, and I'm so excited for it. In terms of batteries, we don't know. Apple is expected to have at least a minor redesign to the chassis, so let's see if Apple can put up a little bit bigger batteries, or at least keep up the same amazing battery life that we have right now on the iPhone 13s. So yes, I'm very excited for the iPhone 14. With these new changes, we are expected to get tons of new stuff on the Pro models, which is the phone that I buy. I don't really care about the normal 14 or 14 Max. The only thing that is going to change on the normal baseline models will be the Max and the elimination of the Mini model. So that's going to be the more fascinating thing to wait for the iPhone 14s, while the Pro models, the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, are going to get all of the new flagship features, and I'm very excited. One last thing though, we got the leaks, and yes, accordingly to a lot of leakers and the Weibo leakers, we're going to see a new purple color. That's going to be the new Pro color for the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, like the Sierra Blue or the Pacific Blue. I'm disappointed. I don't like that purple. I do think it's kind of weird, and I would prefer Apple to do the bronze one, or at least another midnight green. If they did another midnight green, I would buy it like hotcakes. So Apple, make a midnight green iPhone 14 Pro Max, please, or at least a bronze one. That would be pretty cool. But let me know in the comments down below which is your opinion on the iPhone 14 lineup. Do you think that Apple is like cannibalizing too much of the iPhone 14, making it very bad deal, like $799 for the same iPhone 13? in a different chassis, would you buy it? Or do you think that Apple is pricing them fairly, with the iPhone 14 Max being the best seller this year? And of course, if you are going for the Pro, you don't really care about the other two phones, and you will get the same amazing improvements every single year because the Pro phones will be prioritized. And of course, if you want to see the iPhone 14 Pro Max, get the iPhone 14 Pro Max when it comes out, do not forget to subscribe to my channel because I will do it. All the comparisons, the camera, the display, and everything that you can expect to. So if you are excited for that, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. There will be down below where you can do it. And of course, leave a comment down below telling me which phone we will get when the iPhone 14 comes out in September, on the second week on Tuesday. So this is Tech Smart talking to you here. Bye.